Hello, this is Carl with Pierce Phelps. Sitting with me is Bill Campbell, Director of Sales of Townsquare Ignite. We're here for two reasons. Reason number one is to thank you. We had a great year, and if it wasn't for the success of our dealers, we would not have had a great year. So everybody here at Pierce Phelps thanks you. The other reason why we're here is because I don't understand in layman's terms how to explain some of the tactics. So Bill, let's role play here. What's a SEER rating?
Carl, that sounds like something I would have to do with taking a steak off a grill.
Little off, Bill. How about an AFU?
Carl, that doesn't ring a bell.
How about static pressure?
Yeah, that one's tough too for me, Carl.
Yeah, so imagine how difficult it would be for our territory managers to explain Townsquare Ignite, the tactics that you do for us, and we're going to review the success that we've had in this past year. So tell me a little bit about Townsquare Ignite, the program.
Townsquare Ignite delivers your message to your prospects through a custom blend of targeting solutions. From location, content, to demographic and behavioral targeting, we fuse those tactics together and bid on media in real time to assure we're targeting your prospect.
So Bill, moving down the story here, I want to keep in mind two things as you're talking. I want to talk about how we can target competitors, how we can target competitors' brands, and how we can use it for recruiting of techs. But more important, I need to talk about the program itself. So we came up with an arrangement that if we delivered to you X amount of business, you gave us a 25% discount. The way you get the discount is you need to be in our 2019 spring program. It's 25% discount through our program. That part is not co-opable, but the minute you go beyond our program and extend through Townsquare Ignite, and you have the co-op funds, that discount will be continued through to you. And if you have co-op funds, you can use your co-op funds for the extension beyond the program. The only way you get the discount is through the spring program.
Carl, it's been a great year with Pierce Phelps as a partner. And Townsquare Media wants to thank you and all of the dealers that you represent. Can you tell us a little bit about the year that you guys are having?
Sure, I'd like to go back even further. In 2017, in the fall, was when we started our relationship. We did a test drive, and we found that the dealers that we partnered with your organization in 2017 did really well with the program. What really got my attention was when I was speaking to one of your representatives, Jennifer Duvall, and she told me that we could target competitors by the brand, by a manufacturer's brand, and when I heard that, I just was very happy, and that's when we started rolling. And then in 2018, we had a full year now, up until the end of November, to make a comparison of sales of units. I didn't compare dollars, I compared units, because we did have a price increase and I didn't want to tweak the numbers. I wanted to do an actual unit comparison. So great question, but first I got more questions for you. I know year to date from January 1st through the end of November, we got 62 million impressions through your program and our dealers. And of those 62 million impressions, we got over 122,000 hits to dealers' websites. That's pretty powerful if you ask me. And then there was a click-through rate of a 0.20. I did a Google search on click-through rates. I kind of got lost, so can you explain to our dealers and our TMs what a click-through rate is, please?
Carl, that is a very impressive story. 63 million impressions, dealer impressions in a market is one way to make a lot of noise. But really what we care about is not only the impressions served to that target demographic, but the engagement that we're seeing back. 122,000 consumers that had interest in your brand walked through that ad to that dealer's website for more information. Now, when we look at that math problem, we look at 63 million impressions, and we take that number and we put that into the 122,000 people that actually came to our website, and that's what gives us our click-through rate. The industry average click-through rate is about 0.07 to 0.09, where your campaign seems to be almost triple the industry average at a 0.21.
So, question, how do you know that the impression went to the dealer's website?
What we do is we tag that ad. So that message and that banner ad is tagged with a piece of code that registers right to that client's Google Analytics page. So our reporting is aligned with something that you'll see on a live basis, but the client has and can load up their Google Analytics anytime and check the performance data and see for themselves. Carl, why don't you tell me how Bryant did this year?
Brian had a huge success with the program. We had 8 dealers do 2 tactics, and those 8 dealers had a 14% increase in unit purchases from us. We had 1 dealer do 5 tactics, and that dealer had a 34% increase in units for us. And we had another dealer do 3 tactics, and he had a 41% increase in unit buys. That's a big success story, and that's why we think it's even more important that more Bryant dealers participate in this program this upcoming year.
Carl, that is a phenomenal story. And it's so great to see all these new Bryant units in new homes.
Remember earlier I asked you about a SEER and an AFU and static pressure?
Yes, I do.
As we're moving down the line here, I want to talk about the tactics and the packages, and I want to kind of like make it for HVAC guys that we don't understand this stuff. Just explain it that way for me. That'd be great. As you're going along, keep in mind we can target competitors. We can target competing brands, and we can also use this as a recruiting tool as long as it's all co-opable. And first one is hyperlocal mobile, and that is in all 3 packages. How do you explain hyperlocal mobile if I'm a TM?
Well, thanks, Carl. And you're right. A SEER might not be on a stake, and I'm going to keep this almost as simple as possible because these tactics that we're utilizing happen to us in our everyday lives, and we just don't know about it, right? And with hyperlocal mobile, that tactic alone specializes in drawing a fence around an area of interest. So this area of interest could be as small as a little block or a rooftop on a house, and it can expand to 15, 20, 30 miles, right? So we know location is sometimes the most critical part to any kind of campaign when you're dealing with digital media. So we want to be as narrow as possible, or we want to be able to expand that radius, right, to target our desired audience. Now, a way that we can take hyperlocal mobile, and what we've had a lot of success with this year, is geofencing our competitor locations, right? A lot of what we've done this year is really concentrate on some of our big competitors in the marketplace. We zero in on their rooftop, and then we also might target an area where we think we're losing share in the marketplace. So concentrating on a specific location that our dealers might be losing the battle a little bit with helped us regain footing, and I think which is why we're seeing such great numbers at the end of this year.
So hyperlocal mobile is in all the packages. I want to talk about something that I understand is new this year across all 3 packages, package 1, 2, 3, and 3 plus, is something that's called the look back window. What is that?
So that's a great question. And when we're looking and we're talking about hyperlocal mobile, the concept is we're circling in on a specific area of interest, right? And that area of interest, somebody needs to be in, accessing the internet, and then in real time, we're able to bid and win an advertisement on that user's smartphone. What the look back window offers us now is it offers us to pull the historical data at any given point. So this is now where that user doesn't even need to be in that location anymore. They just have to have been able to stop in that location for, at least 10 minutes for us to collect their phone ID, their phone. And when they leave that location, we've identified that smartphone that is connected to that user has been in that location. And it gives us more bandwidth, right? It gives us the scalability that we're going to need now to serve millions of advertisements to those users.
The next one that's included in all the packages is Audience Targeting Plus. That says a lot. I need you to explain it to me.
Carl, Audience Targeting Plus is probably one of my favorite tactics, and it's actually a tactic that's been around for quite some time. We all have an identity that's attached to our desktop, mobile, and tablet devices. These identities are the same that are connected to our emails or our home accounts, and what that does is that as we're accessing the internet, our fingerprint is essentially on every one of those devices. What that means is that every search we perform, every purchase that we buy, every site that we visit, content that we view, all of that is built about a profile. That profile is pretty much who we are and our interests and likes. as creepy as it might sound, a lot of that information is actually bought and sold on users. So what we do is we identify our dealer's specific target demographic. We buy the data sets that connect with those targets, those prospects of theirs, and we deploy those during our buying process. So it's a data-driven play to allow us to reach our desired audience. With Audience Targeting Plus, Townsquare actually invests in this data as well too. So not only are we buying third-party data that's bought on the open market, but Townsquare specializes in first-party data harvesting. So our data collection is tied to all our owned and operated assets. So that gives us fresh, raw, new data 24/7 and gives our campaigns the extra bump that they need.
So, Bill, I really want to make sure that I understand this. So, obviously, I'm a guy that needs a razor. So, if I go on to somebody's website that sells razors, and then within minutes, seconds sometimes, I start getting blasted on Facebook or Instagram, learn more, there's the item I just looked up. Is that what's happening?
Carl, that's exactly right. Your behavior over time of looking for men's products or grooming products have given us as advertisers the access to your data profiles. So you might have been in the market for Gillette products for quite some time, but what's really happening is Dollar Shave Club is collecting that same data off of your search and viewing behaviors, accessing it, and then implementing a strategy such as we're doing now. But the cool thing is we don't need to be Gillette or these big national brands to do this, because the media is so cost effective that we're only concentrating on our locations and our data segments that matter to us.
The next one I need some help is run of network. That is included new this year for package 1, and it's included in all the packages. So I need a little help on explaining what run of network is.
What we do is we implement run of network to bring our rates down on some of our campaigns. So how that works is we're accessing millions of different websites. So in real time, run of network allows us to bid in premium publishers at a fraction of the cost that anybody else would be able to market that inventory for.
So, Bill, the next one I want to ask you about is contextual. It's included in all the packages. It's actually new to package 1, but it's going across all 3 packages. So what is contextual?
Contextual targeting is where we take an industry keyword list around HVAC and your improvement services, and we mirror that with a custom keyword list from one of the dealers. That keyword list actually is implemented during our buying process. So when a user is reading through content online, in real time, we bid on that ad unit associated with content that's relevant to your message.
Bill, the next one I want to ask you about is something that's new this year. It's included in package 3 and 3 Plus. It's lifestyle retargeting. What is that?
Lifestyle targeting is where we take the entire internet and break it up into specific categories of interest. We have sports, we have home improvement, garden, we have weather. And what we're doing with lifestyle targeting for the Pierce Phelps partnership is we're looking at all the home and garden content that's associated with HVAC and your industry.
The next one I know works huge, and it's in package 3 Plus, and it's called event targeting. And your other company that provides websites created a website for us for our no-pay site, and we did event targeting around certain events, like, for instance, an Eagles game. We would see such a spike in our visits to our website 48 hours after the game, even during the game. The spike was incredible, which we could see on our dashboard. I know some dealers are interested in doing this around home shows, and could you elaborate more on event targeting for me, please?
Yeah, event targeting is something new that we're offering this year, and it is just an incredible breakthrough, not only in a product to offer, but actual technology available to us. So the concept to any event targeting is that we can box in and almost draw a square, an octagon, any shape around any event that's happening in your community. So this might be a great idea if you're sponsoring a Little League game and never all the kids are wearing your shirts, where we box in the Little League field for that game, or for the series of games, collect all the people that are a part of your brand recognition going on at that event, and then make sure to remarket to those same people when they leave that event. So, or just as we did with nopay.com, what it allows us to do is look at a big venue or a big special event or maybe a big concert in the area that we might be a part of or that might have interest because our demographic is in there. We retain all the people in that event at that certain time. We collect their device IDs, which are their phones, and then we market to them after the event. It's almost like a boomerang, bringing the ad full circle right back through.
Home shows, retail stores, outlets, so on and so forth.
Absolutely. And we do a lot for home shows. It's such a great point because even though you might not be able to physically be there, what we do is we can make sure your presence is heard by collecting everybody that attended that home show and market to them when they leave.
That's unbelievable. Yes, I said unbelievable. So, package 1, discounted for 3 months. That's $4,500, 3-month campaign. Package 2, that's more tactics. That's $9,000 for 3 months. Package 3 and 3 plus is $15,000. That's for 3 months. They're all significantly discounted. And the cost per metric is incredible, and the impressions are incredible. The impressions for package 1 is estimated for 3 months, 650,000 impressions. For package 2, it's 1,287,000 impressions. For package 3, it's 2,145,000 impressions. And package 3 plus dips a little bit. It's only 1,580,000 impressions. And I think it dips a little bit because of the event targeting. Is that correct?
That is correct. Because event targeting has not only the inventory, but the technology and the data that we're going to need to collect, it is priced a little higher, which brings our impression down just slightly.
So, Bill, another really nice thing we're doing for our factory authorized dealers this year, and I want to thank you personally for stepping up and partnering with Pierce Phelps. If a factory authorized dealer talks to their territory manager, we have an additional discount for the factory authorized dealer, of which Pierce Phelps and Townsquare has partnered up to split the additional cost down, so our factory authorized dealers are getting a better buy. I do want to remind everybody that you will be at our dealer meeting trade show January 30th at the Valley Forge Radisson Casino Event Center. You might want to talk about what you'll be able to do at the trade show.
We're really looking forward to joining everybody in January for the big trade show. What we're going to be able to provide is a digital presence assessment. We're going to be able to look at a keyword analysis of all your competitors in the market and make sure that you're getting your fair share of the organic business that's happening in your market.
So in closing, the 2019 spring advertising program, the premier package includes Townsquare Package 1. You can buy up the Package 2 of Townsquare, Package 3, and Package 3 Plus. I hope this was informative. I know this works. It's a market and an industry and a use of marketing that we all have to learn and get better at. I hope this was informative. Bill, thank you very much.
Thank you, Carl.
Looking forward to seeing you January 30th. Thank you all.